Hi everyone. Alright, so this is going to be a no contact reading where I want to see what Spirit has to say with regards to any sort of guidance for you. So I want to do 4 piles today. I already pre-selected them. We have pile number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Hello, pile number 1. So, how do I feel for you? Let's see what's going on with you first to make sure that this is your pile. It feels as if I'm going to use he and she, and she is going to be the feminine and he the masculine. And for this pile, I feel like this is a deep soul connection. A lot of you watching me right now are probably the feminines, because I feel a lot of feminine energy here, and the masculine, if you were to be watching this, you aren't taking any action towards the feminine because you feel like you're not ready. You feel unworthy and you feel like you're unprepared. And the female, I feel like she's stressed out and concerned and confused because things seem to be going so well, or like the connection seems so obvious, or like the reciprocity between the two seems so genuine, and then it feels like a ghosting situation, or just completely backing out, and giving the impression that this isn't working out, like this isn't a situation for me, this isn't right for me, this isn't where, like, I'm not ready for this, is essentially what he was doing. And this caused a lot of inner destruction in the feminine. The way that I'm seeing it is like a floodplain, and how this caused this separation caused the floodplains to fill back up and destroy what was like the flora and fauna that was there. And that in one perspective you can look at that and think that it was destructive, but in truth that flora and fauna was only supposed to be there temporarily. That was to kind of bring back nutrients and life and just a temporary use of that area. And the floodplains are doing what it's meant to do, and like it's divine nature. And so that's how I'm seeing it interacting within the feminine's body, or like the feminine's experience and spirit, is that whatever's being eliminated, destroyed in your life, perceived as that way, what it truly is you returning back to your core, you returning back to your divine nature. And so there's not anything to hang on to or to be scared about or stressed out about. You're doing things right. you need to experience this like cleansing and decluttering internally. And for the masculine, the way that I see this is he's perceiving this connection, and the reason why he left is because the feelings were so intense, were so strong, that he perceived it as, oh no, now I have to take responsibility for another person. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm someone that can provide for this person, provide for a potential family. I don't know if I am someone that can even barely provide for myself and take care. You know, it's like, can I not, it's like, okay. when he realized that he was actually having real, genuine feelings, probably love, like the feelings are real, then everything that's associated with that came flooding in. And it's like, if you two were just having a good time, and in his life, he's just kind of a bachelor and whatever, just kind of not worrying about anything but the next weekend ahead, now he's flooded with this reality of like getting way ahead of himself. Like, oh my gosh, now I need to find 5+ acres so that she can have, you know, all the land that she wants, and she's comfortable and safe. And now I got to get bear traps, and then I got to get, you know, I got to build a house. I don't even know how to build a house. Then I got to maintain the house, and then how am I supposed to get a well system put in there? I can't even afford, you know, that Lamborghini I wanted or whatever. You know, it's like I have all these extra expenses and things on top of it. How am I supposed to do this? And then what if something happens to me? I have to make sure that she's independent enough, you know. I have to make sure that she's working on herself so she can provide for herself if something ever happened to me. But I have to get all this done. It's like a lot. And so he just ran away. It scared him. He scared himself. And so if you are that guy and you're creeping on this pile, this is just verifying for you that you have to go through this process, this no contact process. It's supposed to happen so that you can understand that it's not just about responsibility when it comes to love with another person. It's about that shared journey and having love being the primary focus. That is what you focus on. It's not about having to take care of another person or anything, but I understand that that's also part of it too for some people. That's how they express their love, or that's what they feel they should do, which yeah, in divine connections, that's definitely part of it. But anyway, so let's see here. The Two of Cups, yeah. It's definitely a Beauty and the Beast situation here. That song, Tale as Old as Time. Neither one of you were prepared for this, but just like in that movie, the feminine is the one that kind of took the initiative to open herself up to like just being compassionate and patient. And also I'm seeing too, like she, like the situation with her too is she also cared about herself. Like she ran back and took care of her family. She didn't neglect herself for that connection. She didn't just stay in that castle forever. she had a choice and she did what was in both of their best interests. There's this hesitation from the masculine that I'm seeing, where it's mixed signals. It's giving mixed signals, where it's kind of like, I want you, but then I kind of, it's not I don't want you, but I'm disinterested or like too busy. Like, I'm so focused on myself, but don't go. You know, that's what I'm feeling, is like this in and out, this push and pull. And in truth, what I'm seeing is, whichever one you identify as, that other person, like your person, is focusing on themselves. Like, that's what I'm getting as a message from their higher self, is like, irregardless of what it looks like, I'm really focused on self-improvement. I'm not worried about what other people are doing. I'm trying to do what I think is the most responsible thing for me, and that's going to get me ahead in life so that I can be ready here. So what do your guardian angels, what does Spirit want to get across for you? In this connection, what do they want you to know? I'll move this away. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. I think for you, what I'm seeing is like you're trying to be strong in this. And you're also trying to hang on to it when you have to go through this grieving process, or like this release, like accepting that it's not just no contact, and kind of detaching from even a spiritual back and forth, like a telepathic back and forth, because it's gonna end up not necessarily sabotaging you, but it's going to make things more difficult for you, like in terms of healing. It feels like you have to heal first. So we have explore your options, be gentle with yourself, and then self-respect. Okay. Let's see what. Go the distance, reversed. Peace. Imagine. Breathe. Truth be told, all in reverse. What are you trying to say, Spirit? They're saying that we want you to be able to listen to us. It's like while your person is focusing on themselves and working on themselves and taking care of whatever responsibility they are taking care of, we want you to connect deeper with us. So this isn't necessarily about moving away from the situation and just kind of washing your hands clean and being done with it. We're not saying that. What we're saying is we want you to hone in on your connection with spirit with as much energy and excitement or desire as you do with your person. You need to be that spiritual sanctuary for this person. Like, it has to be this balance between you two where it's like they're focusing on the practical aspects and you're focusing and practicing on the it's spiritual, but it's more of like, it's like being a party planner, right? Like, to have an effective, good party, you need to have entertainment, good entertainment, but you also have to have proper structure to it so that it goes and kind of works seamlessly. And so you're the life of the party and they're the structure behind it, you see. And so when I'm saying exploring your options, admit the truth to yourself, self-respect, being gentle with yourself, all of this is saying you didn't do anything wrong in this. You don't have to repeat these same scenarios in your head and going over things over and over again, or constantly like trying to figure out what's going on with them or what you could have done differently or what you should do next. Saying you don't have to chase after them, even if it's energetically connecting to them. That's in some ways chasing after them, because there's a part of you that feels like if I don't keep an eye on them, if I don't connect, then I'm like, I want to know what's going on with them. I want to make sure that they're still connected to me, or they still love me, or they feel the same way too. You know, they didn't forget about me or move on, kind of thing. And even with truth being told in reverse, it's like you not being honest with yourself, that like it is currently over, like the connection right now might be over, but it had to be, like, though it's again with the floodplains, it's like the same thing with this mask. It's like how it was before could only be sustained for so long before it self-destructs. You know, it's like when things get overpopulated and then disease flourishes, because it's like nature tries to cull the population. It's like that, when in truth the reality of the whole thing was that it's supposed to be temporary. It needs to return to its nature of being that floodplain. It's like this had to happen. You guys had to go separate ways so that you can get rid of the things that aren't important. Just like if you're the feminine, it's like the masculine had to grow up in some ways. They have to start taking real steps towards becoming that person that they feel like they want to be in order to have a relationship with the feminine. And in that process, they're going to come full circle once they're comfortable in their life, the things that they're doing and their relationships with other people. Once they're comfortable enough, they're going to come full circle and say, you know what, that priority is love. That focus is love. But thank goodness I have all of this, you know, prepared for them so that I don't have to overly concern myself with those things. And the feminine, it's if you identify and you're watching for the feminine, it's saying, okay, well, she realizes that I can sustain any emotional impact, no matter how seemingly destructive or confusing or frustrating and whatever kind of thing that doesn't make sense or doesn't feel right. I am emotionally strong and resilient, and I stand in my faith. I stand in my spiritual truths and my spiritual nature, and that is my strength. That is my preparedness. That is where I can be responsible, you know, and this peace is something that I carry irregardless of whatever kind of external circumstance is. That I know that there's a deeper meaning. I know there's a core purpose to all of this. And so she disseminates all negative thought patterns that exist within her. That's what I see. And that's what I see for you, where it's this cleansing, because they're both going, the feminine and masculine are both doing this in their own ways, where it's an internal cleansing of feeling like you're out of control, or feeling like the situation is not going to work out in the way that you imagined it to be. When the adoption here that I see is the adoption of, I deserve this or something better. And this is not where it's currently at. This is that first time feeling. That's what this is. And I deserve it in a way that doesn't feel like, oh no, the looming things behind of like, what do I need to do? What do I have to take care of? I wasn't ready for this, that kind of thing. It's feeling that and feeling firm in all of the wisdom that's gained through the no contact. And that's what I see is Spirit saying to dispel any negative thought or thought patterns that exist in this. Allow yourself to detach from them, because in detaching, you are signaling to them that you trust them and you trust their path and their journey, that you don't have to monitor it, or you don't even have to think about it. It's like, I'm going to worry about myself, because in worrying about myself, I'm preparing myself for this connection. I'm preparing myself for you. And when it's time, when we're ready to be together, we're going to get that signal from Spirit that it's time. You know, this potential, this egg of potential, like the chicken knows when it's ready to hatch. They instinctively know. There's no doubt about it. And I kind of feel you can connect that back to this first time feeling. It's like what led you to that moment, and like you knew then, and so it would be dictated in a similar but better fashion. So that's what I see for you guys. Bye. Hey, pile number 3. So no contact. What's going on with you and your person, and what your guardian angels say. I feel a lot of mental chatter. A lot of mental chatter, but it's just interesting because it doesn't feel like this is no contact. This is what fell out. or flipped over. Blessed. This is probably a very telepathic connection where you guys are constantly in a back and forth together. So physically there's no contact. The heck? My cat's trying to get in here. Well, it doesn't feel like you're going to be in no contact for long. It feels like your person wants to reach out to you. King of Cups. Let's get more context here. So it feels like the reason why there's no contact here is something like they had to. Like, I don't know if this is someone that's, maybe they're on assignment somewhere, so it's work related. That's why you're not in contact. If this is someone who had passed away, like, this isn't like something you wouldn't know. If you're trying to connect with someone who had passed away, and that's why, or like if they are incarcerated. I don't know. It's like there's like a reason why they're not talking to you. It's not like something outside of themselves, you know what I mean? Or if it's just I'll tell you all the different scenarios. Is like if they're an actor, right? And so then they're constantly working, or they're working overseas, and for some reason you can't connect to each other. Because I feel like there's a lot of people watching them. That's why I'm like, it's an actor incarcerated or passed away, so they're like surrounded by guardian angels, or they're on assignment, so they're with other people. Like, it just feels like they obviously love you, they obviously care about you, they obviously have these deep feelings and emotions, sincere emotions and feelings for you, but for some reason, they literally cannot speak to you. They could be in a coma, I guess, I don't know. You would know. This should make sense for you, or if you are not in contact and you don't know why they're not talking to you and you keep getting the same message and you're like, but what is it? Then that's why. With this, it kind of does feel like deceit, like maybe, but it feels like they're being deceitful, but not intentionally towards you to be harmful. It's like them, this scenario too of like being on assignment, like they're having to sneak away from this life or this situation. Or maybe if it could be something as simple as like they're in a relationship with someone, or they're connected with someone where it's more of a relationship out of convenience, and they have sincere feelings for you, and it's not like this went too far or further or anything like that, but you are fully aware that you have a telepathic connection with them, and that you have some sort of history or background with them where it would be relevant for them to actually reach out to you. Like you know each other, like if you're coworkers or friends or associates, whatever. And that's what I'm saying. With the world reversed and the 8 of Swords, yeah, it feels like a design of their own making. Like they created this situation that they're in where they feel like they have no choice. It's like they literally have no ability or no choice to speak to you. And that's what's going on right now. So if this is relevant for you, then when we get into what your guardian angels want to tell you, then, I mean, they've already told you a couple things here, but yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, what you need to know is like them reaching out before during this no contact or like during, they see it as it would potentially end up harming them in some way. Like there would be no way for them to effectively do that. And it feels very sad to me. Like they feel very sad and sorry. Like they're apologetic because they don't want you to think that they don't care about you. They don't want you to think that they don't love you or that they, like, it's almost like they feel so disappointed that maybe they let you down, or they feel like you might think that, something like that, where you're kind of stuck in limbo, you're stuck in time. That's what I feel, is like you're stuck in space. In the space of when they left you. But then they're saying that I didn't do that on purpose. Like I didn't do it because I wanted to. It's because I have to do this. Like it's the right thing to do. And if I don't, then it's going to end up hurting me in the long run. And it's not about being selfish. It's about, if I hurt myself in the long run, then I'm hurting you. And I don't want to do that. And they're very grateful for this connection they have with you. They feel very grateful that it's like they're kind of in this situation that feels, or some part of them was in a situation that was not healthy for them. And I see this as you, like you are this blessed woman here, or being, or angel. I was going to say blessed angel, honestly, because I feel like they see you as an angel, where they can rise up to meet you, in this mental space. It's like, when I connect with you, I feel at peace because you are in a peaceful state. You're in a peaceful being or light. And so in this perceived chaos or frustration or stress that I was in or am in, then when I can reach to you telepathically, then I can feel safe. I can feel comforted. I can feel warm. I can feel like that. I mean, that's the same thing. I can feel like I'm reaching a higher power. I can feel like this isn't as overwhelming or as stressful. Like I can look at my reflection. It doesn't have to be this never-ending story of whatever kind of... I mean, it feels like the words I'm getting is a hellhole. Like wherever they're at is like a hellhole. They just don't... They're not happy there. And when they connect with you, they just feel loved again. They feel, and it's that sincere, unconditional, divine love. And it's like, I don't have to... The way that I'm saying this is like, they've overcome this storm and they're grounded. Like they're this little beetle, or it's a fairy, but I've said a beetle. They're this little fairy that's been grounded because of this storm. They weathered the storm, and it's like time and time and time and time again, they've been trying to ascend from this puddle, but because they're so itty bitty, the rain is just punching them back into the ground. And you, this higher power, like you're unlocking this part of them that like dissolves the clouds. And I can see it like slowly coming across their wings here, where it's two things. It's number one, drying their wings so they can fly again. And 2, what I'm seeing is this little heart in here needs to be released. It needs to be burst into flames. It needs to just be free again. And this mirror, when they have the strength to finally look at themselves again, they're going to come to that idea that I can use this mirror to reflect that light that was presented by you to create that reflection or refraction onto this and catch it on fire. Right? Like, I'm going to use that. And so you're just this guiding light to them, and that's where they're at right now. But it's like, what I'm hearing is like, I am talking to you, I am communicating you, I am reaching out to you, and I will do that. And it feels like an extension of that. So whatever this means for you, like how it's going to transform into that next step, whether it's in the physical world or what, they're going to deliver that to you. There's delays because I have the message in a bottle and it's reversed. So there are going to be a little bit of a delay. There is going to be a little bit of a delay here. And so what I'm seeing here is that the reason why there's a delay is because you have more work to do. And what this means is it's about reconnecting with people around you. I think there's a part of you that's maybe starting to self-isolate, or this could also be in a way where you're laser focused on this connection. It's something like that. Maybe you're spending so much energy and time connecting with them when you could be using those gifts to listen to spirit on what to do next in your life or something like that, right? Because I feel like you're at the crossroads somewhere here, right? Even with this past and future, and you're here in the present, it's like you're at this crossroads where you have to make certain life decisions that will benefit you in the next coming months, is what I'm hearing. It's like 3. I'm seeing the number 3, so it's either 3 weeks or 3 months. Like 3 weeks might be the start of something that's going to propel you forward into the next couple months after that. I'm not sure, but it's like no one wants to make that first move, is what I'm saying. It's like it's either you or them, or it's either between you and them, or it's between you and you. Like 2 different decisions, and you don't want to make a move either way. Whether it's because you're afraid you're going to be leaving this connection behind or leaving them behind, or you feel, it's like, well, if I move forward in some sort of way, then in some ways that's saying that I'm leaving them behind. And what they're indicating and Spirit's indicating is that you're not leaving anyone behind. You're not doing that. What you have to do is you have to reconnect. You have to be honest with yourself and open those doors again to your heart and into your mind, and that's going to unlock a lot more information for you when it comes to this connection, and it's going to help you kind of get rid of any sort of like clutter or like abandonment. I think this has something to do with some sort of like you have this inner knowing that there's something that needs to be resolved in you, like abandonment issues or some sort of childhood issues that have to be resolved, and that's what's keeping you in this limbo state right now. It's because maybe if you have abandonment issues, then you don't want to project onto someone else, or but that's kind of a deeper excuse, because in truth you are the one who doesn't want to feel abandoned, something like that. Make a commitment, honor and trust your feelings, eternal love. So what I'm seeing here is that you are being guided by your guardian angels into this deep, profound, loving connection, and that ultimately you have to trust and honor your feelings, knowing that God is ultimately in charge, and to make a commitment to yourself and to your person that you are going to act in ways that are through love. You're not doing things out of fear. So these moments where you're holding back on your journey or on yourself are moments where, again, you feel like you're afraid of something that might happen, or what will be left behind, or what someone might think. When you're moving through a place of eternal love and eternal trust in yourself, love and trust in yourself, love and trust in your person, love and trust in God, then those decisions are not going to be the wrong decisions. You just have to trust yourself and really commit yourself to that. Archangel Michael can help you with the situation. You just ask for help. And energy healing work, and we have a favorable outcome at the bottom of the deck. And romance angels are helping you. So what they're saying is the energy healing is to go towards what you're feeling is going to heal you. Like, fearlessly go towards your goals in life, and towards like following that inner guidance that you have. Trust yourself, trust this, trust this connection. Constantly pray your will help this situation, and speaking to Archangel Michael and praying to him, like, you know, I trust in the divine, I trust in God to lead me through this situation. And so Archangel Michael, please guide me through this situation as well. Please come forward and help, allow, like, give me the space and allowance to lean on you for support, and to protect me, and to protect this connection, and to protect my person, so that the things that I do moving forward are things that I feel are faithfully led and not fearfully led. Because I know that I am eternally loved and cared for, and that this connection is protected. So that's what I see for you guys. And just trust whatever you're thinking right now, is that you're in the right mind. That's the right decision. That's the right path. All right, bye. Hi, pile number 2. This is your reading. No contact situation. What do you need to know from your guardian angels? So what's going on with you and your person currently? Okay, I'm going to pull some cards because this feels like an unhealthy situation. It feels like a disagreement between you two, where someone was feeling used, someone was feeling manipulated, someone was feeling taken advantage of, and the other person was basically, it's like self-interest. And so they're like, it would be like we'll do person A and person B. So person A feels like they have been taken advantage of. They've been used. They've been manipulated. They've been lied to. They've been like a victim of the circumstances. Almost like frustrated and tired of it and disgusted, just upset. The other person feels like they were either like insincere, like they feel like they were they're acknowledging being insincere with person A. And person B feels like they might have cheated on person A, or lied to person A, or they took advantage. Like, what person A feels is the reality. And it took a while for person A to realize that, to figure that out, to know that. And so person B wanted, it's kind of like they wanted person A's resources, or like, yeah, something like that. That's what it feels like. Yeah, it feels like person B it just feels like person B was taking advantage of person A, and that they had no intentions of being fair to them. Like, they had no intentions of treating them with, like, they don't see them on the same level. They're just kind of using person A. And it's almost at whatever cost. What my guardian angels are showing me is like someone doing spells, or listening to like that frequency music, or manifestations, like stuff like that, where they're trying to manipulate person A's free will. That's what I feel like. They're trying to manipulate person A's free will. And so person B is being represented like there was divine intervention happening. There's some sort of divine intervention. So this disconnection is actually a good thing, because it's protecting person B from these types of leeches. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a leech, right? Like, they're just gonna leech on and use until they get everything they can out of the person. Not until they get everything that they want. It's like, as long as you have something to provide person A, then person A will stick around. They'll take whatever they can, as long as that means that person A doesn't have to be responsible. Pay attention to your dreams, guarded and protected. And this is the solar plexus that's illuminated right here. And it's kind of like trusting your gut, like trusting your intuition, and also forgiving yourself for potentially allowing this to happen, or maybe like if you feel like you fell for it. If you're person B, if you're person A, then don't watch this anymore. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to talk to person B. So now this is a message for person B who has been taken advantage of, that you are being looked after, you are being guarded and guided, and that your guardian angels are going to bring in someone who appreciates you. They're going to bring in someone who really cares for you and doesn't use these sincere qualities against you. Yeah. There's show off. This person A, is just a show off. They're lying. They're lying about who they are. They're lying about what they have. So what I'm feeling is that maybe you were getting a lot of warning signs. Maybe people around you were telling you this. Maybe you know, it's kind of like, let's say that this person's, what is it called? Something vampire, like an emotional vampire or something like that. Like, let's say that you just started looking up the qualities of an emotional vampire, and yet you were saying, oh, it couldn't be me, you know. But you were still somewhere in your subconscious thinking that you should look into it. And so basically you've been avoiding this truth for some time, and I feel like your guardian angels are warning you, like, you don't take any more chances with this. Don't keep going through this over and over again. It's kind of like you repeating the same cycles over and over, and you resisting taking the initiative to leave this situation. It's like, you know, there's this inner truth in you, and it's kind of like you living this dual life. It's like your fantasy life, or like your mental life, like in your head, basically, of you saying somewhere up there, like, oh, I need to leave this situation, I need to leave them behind, I don't want to think about them or talk about them again or whatever. And yet there's this other part of you that feels, oh, it's not over, like, because this is a no contact situation, which means you're not currently speaking to them right now, and yet they feel very much tied into your energy or into your life. So it would be as if you're in and out of a relationship or connection with this person, where they still have their things at your place, or vice versa, or somehow they're dictating your life. Somehow they're in control of how you conduct your life. It feels like you always leaving, right? It's like, or you deciding enough's enough and then going back to it. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And eventually you're going to get to that point where enough is enough, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that right now. It kind of feels like you aren't being honest with yourself, and maybe you're not at that point right now to be honest with yourself. And so your guardian angels are basically saying that that's okay, but you are being warned that this is something that you have to take the step towards, you have to take the initiative towards, and that's not to absolve you from taking responsibility of your own life and saying, when you're being guided or pushed, take initiative to stay away from this person, this lying person. You will, like, when you finally make that commitment, you're going to be extremely, extremely, extremely happy. This was not reverse, I'm just turning it this way to show you. Milk and honey. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be mending relationships with people in your life, that, like, in your community, like, you're either going to be making deeper connections and friendships with people that you haven't met yet, or you're going to be repairing relationships with people around you that maybe were destroyed in this path of this person A. And you're going to find the ways that your mind was tethered to them. It's like this tethering to their existence, their reality, their truths, which are mistruths. It's like they're just lying to you, gaslighting you, manipulating you, mistreating you, misguiding you, and it gets really confusing to where you are having a hard time discerning between how you feel or how other, it's a very confusing situation for you mentally, and there is this point where you have to take that leap, but it has to be a poised, so I'm saying it's like a poised leap, like you have to do it gracefully, and so that's when, and it doesn't always necessarily look gracefully from maybe your perspective, but it's by the grace of God. It's by the when you feel it's time, you need to do what's right for you. You have to take that next step. Okay, these two fell out. Let's see what they are. Unfinished Symphony and Yin. Yeah. This cycle is going to perpetually go around in circles until you accept help. Until you accept whether this is like the helping hand of the divine, just like in your mind's eye, or if this is someone in your life, someone you come across that wants to help you and they're basically following their purpose, like Spirit's will to help you. Shield yourself, and you have created this situation. You have the power to change it. You are being protected. You are being shielded, but there's also this big indication that you have to do what you can to protect yourself in the real world. You know, it's like there's only so much. You can't just keep leaving it up to God in the sense of like making an excuse to not take responsibility. Like this is like, you created the situation. You have the power to change it. Your guardian angels are going to walk you through whatever decisions that you make. They can only guide you. They can only assist you in advice. You are the only person, like it's your free will. You have been granted free will. You have to make those choices for yourself, ultimately, you know. So kick up your heels. They're saying now is the time to release. There's another repetition of the rainbows. Like now's the time to get it started. Like get this process of healing started. Get this process of taking action started. It's not going to be just an overnight change. But once you start committing yourself little by little, even if you go into this cyclical nature of going back to situations, not letting it get as bad as it was, and then like perpetually moving yourself forward from that in whatever way that makes sense to you. We have parenting and children. So children are important to this situation, whether this is your inner child or there's actual children involved here. This is a really dark, ominous looking card though. And so what I'm feeling here is that that's something that you need to take into deep consideration. Are there children involved in this? And what do you need to do to make sure that they are well cared for and protected? Make that your priority. If you don't, then taking into consideration the future of whether you're going to have children or not, what kind of person do you see yourself having children with? What kind of person do you see yourself as when you do have children? What does that life look like? And how can you make sure that your life aligns in that way. And it's not looking at a specific person, it's looking at the qualities in that significant other or in yourself, and also your situation, like your life circumstances, and also taking care of your health, right? Because if this is depending on how toxic it is of how this is transpiring, are you self-sabotaging your health, or is this person sabotaging your health or your well-being? And you have to protect that home, not just your home life, but the home in which your soul resides, your body, so that, you know, when you come to that point of having children, if you so choose, then you are in a healthy mindset and a healthy spiritual place for that. And this could also be with animals, or it could be with your inner child, of making sure that they are happy and well cared for and safe. We have admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. And this, I feel, is that main goal in life for you. It's like your targeted intention is, what do you want in life? Not what things do you want or anything. Like, what does that feel like to you? Like, do you want to feel excited, at peace, comforted every morning that you wake up? Do you want to feel surrounded by love, surrounded by people? Or do you want to feel more like you're in a secluded kind of place or whatever? Like, what does that look like to you? And making that your intention will help you to see what things in your life need to go. Okay, so that's what I see, and I'll see you next video. Bye. Hi, pawn number 4. So, what's going on with you and your person? What does Spirit want you to know? Great. World, it's not over. Okay, that's for sure. I know it's no contact, but it's not over. I feel like this is a funny pile. Like, you and your person are really funny people. Just like silly people, like really just goofy, and like in a good way. And there's like a teasing energy. So it's like you, both of you know it's not over. I don't think that either of you really intend for it to be over. Why is there no contact then? So it kind of feels like maybe someone here wasn't taking the situation seriously. Like, it's like, even though you both are kind of goofing around with each other, there were obviously serious feelings there. But maybe someone wasn't, like, this spirit over this woman is kind of like representing the blue is like ice, like being iced out. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like someone got iced out in this situation because they weren't sure. All of this teasing going back and forth made them feel unstable and unsure. And so it's kind of like, I'm gonna go the other way, or I'm gonna kind of cut my losses right now because I'm afraid that I might not, like, this might not end up the way I want. Like, I'm gonna be disappointed because then the other person won't reciprocate my feelings, or it won't be something like that. Like, they kind of just got they got cold feet, they got afraid. And or let's say like if you opened up about your feelings or something, or somehow it progressed in some way, and that I'm getting a third party here though. I'm getting a third party where it could have been like someone close, like if it was like a friend, like a frenemy, right? Like someone that's close in either your or your person's group that was not being honest. Like it's like if they, like let's say that your person has someone that's interested in them and they're trying to get in between you guys, or if you had someone and you're trying to get in between each other. And so because you and your person weren't officially together and you guys were just kind of goofing around, even though you both knew without fully divulging the intensity of the feelings, then this person was easy, like better, it's a better situation for that person to interject. And because there were genuine feelings towards you from your other person, they wanted to cut their losses with you because that would hurt more if they were let down by you, you know, like if you didn't reciprocate, or, you know, maybe if you opened up, they weren't really taking you seriously because they had their defenses up. Because if someone, from their perspective, what I'm seeing is like if someone really likes, like they just, it's kind of hard to believe, I guess. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost too good to be true. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, is it a trap? Is it too good to be true? And so that mistrust, which has nothing to do with you, it has something to do with them. Maybe this feeling of inadequacy is really what it kind of gets down to, is that gave them an easy out. Not that they wanted it, but it kind of left them more vulnerable to going the other way. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is like they're taking the easy road because it's less opportunity for them to get hurt by someone they don't really care about. And this person, this third party, knew about it. Like knew about their real feelings, and feels like they're jealous and like just selfish and not that great of a person towards them. It feels like they're selfish towards them. And oh, my cards just fell. Yeah, they don't get along. Whoever this third person is, they don't get along with them really. There's like conflict there. So we have the 5 of Cups. It reminds me of my friend. And I always tell him, I'm like, you're just drama. You're just drama, because it's like if he gets a little cut, it's like the end of the world. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is like, they, like, my friend, like, obviously knows that cut, he's gonna be fine, right? And so this is kind of what I see here, is like they feel like it's over and done with, is kind of how they're coming across. But in truth, they still have hope. They're like, but is it really? Like they're kind of like looking behind, like, are they looking? Is pile number 4 looking at me to see how sad I am about this? Because they don't want to lose hope. They haven't lost hope here. And I don't think that it's over at all. So, what else do you need to know here, if this pile resonated with you so far? So, it feels like it might be in disconnect as far as like, yeah, it feels like it might be in disconnect longer than you would like to be honest with you, because they're resisting this inner work. They're resisting having to deal with this risk that they would have to take with being vulnerable to rejection from you, or vulnerable to being let down. Well, by being let down, it's not you not being enough, it's you not feeling there enough. Not feeling like you would stick around with them forever. It's kind of like this person, because it feels they might still be with this person, or this might be a past person that they still have healing to do with, but it's like they've kind of, it's safe for them, because like I said, they don't care about this third party in the way that they care about you, and this third party is treating them in ways that they're afraid that you would treat them. They don't think that you would, but it's kind of like acting, it's almost like exposure therapy. They're exposing themselves to the things that they're afraid of in a way that's less risky and harmful to them. And so it kind of appears as if they're resisting this change. They're appearing as if they're resisting this opportunity to have something with you, a friendship or something deeper, but really they can't face you because there are deeper feelings than just friendship, and they're just not ready right now. They have to go through figuring themselves out and feeling like it's worth a risk, because you don't want someone who's going to be around you that's super guarded all the time and can't be themselves and can't open up and can't progress because they're afraid. They have to realize that it's okay. And I think going through this toxic situation, potentially toxic or at least unfulfilling and frustrating, it's emotionally frustrating situation, they're going to realize, like, this isn't even worth it. If I'm going to go through, like, it's like, I want to choose happiness. I want to choose my heart. I want to choose something where I feel at peace, not where I feel like it's not fun. I don't know. You get what I think you know what I'm saying. We have breaking free at the bottom of the deck, and so this is where I feel they're at right here. That's kind of where how I'm seeing these cards is this is you and this is them, where they deeply, deeply, deeply desire to follow their dreams, and following their dreams would lead them to you. Lead them to this harmonious relationship or connection with you. But in order to get there, they have to be comfortable taking that initiative and not just fantasizing about it. And that's where they're earning that self-reliance, is through this toxic third party and putting themselves in situations they're not comfortable with. Because the more that they realize they're uncomfortable in these situations, the more they're going to realize it's not worth doing that. They should just go for what they believe in and take that chance. They have to feel safe within their own life. You know, it's like, again, and the way that I'm seeing it now is like a video game where you have to beat all the smaller bosses in order to get to the big boss. And so it's like you're that big boss, and so they have to defeat all these smaller ones where, you know, it's easier. The person you're asking about is trustworthy. Go forward fearlessly. Keep your eyes on targeted intention. Your children are watched over by angels. And to believe and trust. And we have sense of humor, because I feel like that's you and them. And so it's this indication to maintain your good sense of humor. And even towards the situation, to have a good sense of humor about this, and to continue to heal your inner child. And we have move forward fearlessly twice. Go forward and move forward fearlessly coming through twice. And dreams coming true coming through twice. Follow your dreams and dreams coming true. And so I just feel like this is, and we have, did I say we have positive expectations? I think I already read this out. And so what I'm saying is that this situation has already taken care of itself, okay? You guys are on the right path. All of you that are involved in this situation are on your right path. So you don't have to be concerned about that, okay? And so when you continue to kind of look into yourself and understand yourself and worry about yourself, and like, I just see you as being a very sociable person, or at least like that's your desire. But I really feel like you're sociable, you get along really well with people. Like you have a lot to offer people as far as just your intellect and your humor, and just like you're really easygoing and easy to get along with and a good listener. And so it's like your guardian angels are saying, like, take your time in this situation. Don't worry too much about it. Work on yourself, on any sort of passion projects you have. Work on things in your community if that's something that you're interested in. Focusing too much on this and kind of like letting it. It's not breaking your spirit, but it's like inflicting. It's like slinging dirt onto your spirit is unhealthy. So like let go of those unhealthy habits, because I think there's a point here too where it could cause some internal conflict with yourself. It hasn't already, where maybe it'll turn into a complex of like, what's wrong with me, or something there that it could potentially turn into. And so when you're doing this inner work, only good can come from that, right? Like it literally, you're either going to get with this person once and for all, or you're going to be improved and you're going to be with someone if you want. Like either way you're improved, right? You get what I'm saying? And so you can trust this person. You can trust that they have your best interest in mind, even if they aren't necessarily acting like it right now. This is something that is probably destined for them to happen. This situation is probably written in their chart in order for them to come to the conclusion that they're meant to come to, right? And so just have faith in that. And I'm hearing something else. So these dreams are coming through because they're working through this in their dreams. I feel like they're having nightmares. I think they're having nightmares about you. have you seen The Notebook and that scene where the guy is like, it's still not over? That's what I keep seeing and hearing. It's like, and I saw it at the beginning, like before I even pulled this card, the Five of Cups, where it's like he, you know, it's like that. Just look it up because I don't really remember the context, but it's like, you act, not just you, it's like both of you act as if it's over when you know it's not. You know that there's something there, so it's like you're living these two different lives, knowing that that passion is still there, knowing that those feelings aren't gone. They haven't gone anywhere. They probably will never go anywhere. And so it's kind of like your guardian angel is saying, like, maintain that light-hearted demeanor, that really sparkly, beautiful persona that you have. And like, nothing's gone wrong here. They aren't doing this to hurt you. They aren't doing this to spite you or because they don't care about you. This is just part of their journey, and they do love you. And they do want to fix this. They do want to resolve this, but it's not their time right now. They have things that they need to learn, and you do too. But really what I see for you of learning is not being carried away by their behavior, like getting caught in the current, basically. Like, you can still live your life irregardless of their decisions, kind of thing. Like, you will just keep moving forward, you know? And I'm also seeing, like, you acknowledging the depths of your feelings too, because there's a part of it that you're not really fully delving into, I think, because of this disconnect. So you're not allowing yourself to feel as deeply as you truly do. And so feeling safe and facing those feelings head on is really important, so that you can have that balance of being goofy and also being serious and sincere, and not hiding behind humor when you come back together with this person and really sit down and talk. Then you will feel like, okay, I'm gonna be just like as straightforward as possible with them. Yeah, it's like best friends. You guys are best friends, is what it feels like. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. I'm doing one more. It's a really, really beautiful love story. It's kind of what I see here. It's kind of like this beautiful ending. And it's card number 8, and it's kind of like leading me into infinity. Just hearing, like, you will know. Like, whatever it is that's, like, on your mind, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're questioning, whatever, You will know. You will know. And right now it's just about kind of taking yourself out of the situation a bit, stepping out of the situation, and like maintaining your sense of self in this. Don't lose sight of all those beautiful qualities that make you who you are. I mean, happily ever after and make music. You know? Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to say much to that other than that's what I see. I think you know. I think you know. I think you feel it. You can trust that. And you can trust this person for sure. They are a good person, I feel. You can trust that. Alright. That's what I see. Bye, guys.